What's up, guys? Some of you know me, some of you don't. I used to be pretty big in the drone community when GPS stuff was happening, and then of course I got opinionated and switched over to FPV, but I've always really stood against DJI, and I've really always tried to tell people, don't follow the rules. Just don't. Every time you guys give in to what the government wants, you just give them room to create more rules and more issues for us. And I have said time and time again, petitions do not work. They don't care. They've already made their decision. No matter what you do, they're not going to hear your voice. And time and time again, they have shown us that they just do not give a shit about the hobby or us or just in general, and it's lack of knowledge on their part. The FAA has no idea what the government and the FAA have no idea what we do, especially as FPV pilots. So, you know, I watched XJet's video, I watched Bot Grinder's video. I switched. I do motorcycles now. This is what I do on my channel. And I occasionally fly my drone with my friends and I have fun. I do it because it's still a hobby to me and I enjoy flying FPV. That is why I do it. I'm not part of the community like I used to be, but I will tell you this. Since the beginning, I have stood behind the idea of them not controlling us. And it seemed like the more I said it, the more people hated me for it. They were like, dude, just follow the rules, safety's a good thing, all this safety blah 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 blah. And it drove me away from the GPS scene because I just got tired of hearing people give in, constantly give in. It's the majority of the people giving in to remote ID registration and all the things that the government says is all GPS people. Because they just want easy, 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 easy. That's why they choose DJI products, because they just want easy, things that work. I don't want to have to do this, I don't have to do that, I just want to fly, blah, blah, blah. So they just give in to everything. This all happened 90% because of the GPS majority scene did this to themselves, and now it's created a problem for everybody else, right? The point I'm trying to make here, guys, is like, I've listened to XJet, I listened to Bot Grinder, and I'm probably more on Bot Grinder's side, but I wanna just say the one thing that people aren't understanding about all this is that the government already made their decision. I think XJet and Bot Grinder both understand the things that I have for all these years. They both agree with me that they already made their decision. This was a build-up towards this from the get-go. But what I don't agree with is everyone's plan to fix things. Because I'll be honest with you, I agree with Bot Grinder, and I agree on some accounts with XJet on this about civil disobedience. I'm gonna be civil disobedient. You are damn skippy. I'm not gonna install remote ID on my shit. You're fucking crazy. I don't fly crazy enough to install remote ID. The things I do don't have anything to do with remote ID. Like Bot Grinder was saying, I fly in a general field of 500 feet or more, and I do little flips and barrel rolls. You're lucky if I even get above the tree line. It's ridiculous to even think about pushing this off on the majority of FPV guys. This is for people out breaking the rules, buying DJI drones that go kilometers away, miles and miles, you know, that just don't care about what happens to the rest of us in the hobby and do stupid shit. That's who this comes down to. They're the reason all this is in play. That being said, civil disobedience will only work to a point. Unless you can get all the GPS community to do it, like I'm going to make you bet, the majority of FPV guys are not going to commit. They're not going to commit to remote ID. And that just goes to show you the difference in the GPS and the FPV community. The FPV guys are like, fuck this. This is stupid. I got into this because it was open source and I didn't have to deal with all the bullshit. Right? And the GPS guys are like, well, I just want to keep flying, so I'm just going to follow all the rules and do everything the government tells me. There's a huge... It's why they fight so much. That's why the group constantly pounds heads with each other, because you got the safety guys over here and the guys are like, fuck that. We don't even, you know, we just want to get away from people and go fly in a field abandoned somewhere or an abandoned building and just not interfere with anybody. Whereas all these GPS guys want to take their drones and go fly in parks and go fly over the top of people and, you know, fly over the beach over the top. It's like, dude, oh, it's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. And then they hate the FPV guys. And they say we're the bad ones. It's like, it's just, the whole thing is bumping heads. Here's, I guess where I'm going with this, give me one sec. Because where I'm going with this is like, I've heard XJet, I've heard Bot Grinder, I've watched all the other videos, civil disobedience this, civil disobedience. Yes, I'm 100% going to be civil disobedient. I'm going to be a sky pirate. You are damn Skippy, I will. But the one thing I'm going to do is the one thing that nobody else is doing. All these people are writing to their Congress. All these people are going to you know, the courtrooms and giving a speech about why the government shouldn't do this and shouldn't do that. But fucking none of you are reaching out to the media. See, what's happening is the entire rest of the planet doesn't know what's happening to us, AMA, drone people, anybody in this hobby, because the news isn't covering any of it. Any of it. They're not covering any of it. There's no news outlet telling the world what's happening to us, which is making it that much easier for the government just to go, ha, we can just do this to them and there's nothing they can do. If the general public doesn't know what's happening to us, they have no reason to fight for us or with us on any of this, or even say, well, that's kind of stupid. I understand what these drone guys want. Why wouldn't the government do this? Nobody's reaching out to anybody. You're not reaching out to your local news stations and trying to put this on a national show or talk about this anywhere. Nobody's bringing this to a national level at all. You're all just like, I'm going to do this, and on this day I'm going to do this. The only way, outside of severe civil disobedience, getting almost the entire drone community to be like, fuck you, we're not going to do what you say, to get them to even raise an eyebrow, to listen to what we have to say, to make simple changes that work out for everyone and be fair across the board, right, is to get the media involved. You have to get the media involved. You have to. You have to let the rest of the world know what's happening to us. Otherwise, it's just our little elite group of people in a tiny little hobby fighting for us, trying to make the government understand. You get enough people on board, you'll change their mind, guaranteed, all day. But there's no news outlet. There's no media covering this. Nobody's going to the news and saying, let's take one person from every community to a local news source and see if we can get them to do a story on what we're doing. Where are you guys? Who's doing this? Where are those people? You got Ryan Lauderette, all these people that are like, oh, I'm fighting in the courtrooms and all this stuff for you guys, but nobody's actually doing what is necessary to get this to work out in our favor. Not one fucking person is going to the news and trying to get a news story created for us and get towns and cities involved in, where the fuck are you guys at, huh? And this is the majority of the reason I left the community, because I just saw which route it was going, and I'm like, this is going to fail. Everything about this is going to fail. Nobody gives a fuck enough to actually solve problems. Everybody just keeps giving in and giving in and giving in, allowing the government to take more and more and more. Fucking none of you are doing anything about the situation, right? And now you're all, whoa, September's just around the corner. Now everybody's losing their mind. Remote ID. Oh my God, they introduced a bunch of new crazy things to us. Holy shit, this wasn't in the original package. They had every intention of doing this to us. I knew it. Like a bunch of people I hang out with knew it. I mean, it wasn't, guys, this was coming at some point. So the more you avoided it, the more you're like, yeah, it's all right. It's a ways off. We don't have to worry about it right now. It's all right. I'll just write a petition letter to my whoever. You didn't change a fucking thing. You didn't do anything progressive for the community whatsoever. You did nothing. The only way this works out for us is national involvement. That's it. That's the only way this works out for us. Getting news stories about our situation and get it aired. You want to change things? Get it on the news. The government cannot avoid the people if the people are hearing what is happening to us. And then the people start to look at the government and go, well, why would they do that to these guys? Why? And then you have a fight on your hands. Then you have a bargaining chip. But that's the only way you're going to solve things. All this other bullshit everybody's talking about, bullshit. Fuck that. Views. Aiming for views. You know, granted, I like XJet. And I like Bot Grinder. I get it. They're passionate. All right? But the only way this is going to work is getting news to cover it. You need an outlet. You need outlets. You need each city, town, state, somebody reaching out to a news company that is willing to take the story and air it once, twice, 3 times. At least get it out there. Get the message out there about what's happening to us. Because if you don't get the involvement of the rest of the nation and people, they're just going to troll right over the top of you and do whatever the fuck they want to do, like they've done since the beginning of this hobby. I switched. I could care less. I'm going to fly and do what I want to. I could care less what happens at this point. I don't give a damn. The people in this community have driven the damn out of me. I don't care. I have zero fucks left to give. Zero. I became the most hated person for my ideas and explaining to people what was coming and how this was going to work. And nobody wanted to hear me, and I just got hated for it. Here I am, like 90% right on everything that I projected was going to happen and the way things were going to go, and DJI was going to be the shitstorm and the fuckery for everything, and nobody gives a fuck. Dan is still wrong. I'm going to be wrong in everybody's eyes, but it doesn't matter. Here's the one thing you could do to help yourself. If you guys give a fuck, if you give a fuck about this hobby, if you actually give a fuck about this hobby, reach out to news outlets. Get the news involved. Get some people that are well-spoken, can carry themselves well, dress in a good suit, and go in and have a very good conversation on our part. Each town, each city, each state. You will solve it. You will get the FAA to go, shit, man. We were going to just roll right over this group of people, but now we have to take a step back and go, ugh. All right, we got to redirect some of these things so that it works out. Otherwise, we look like we're an asshole to the rest of the world. Yes, that is how you solve problems. I hate to do it. It's public humiliation to the government, but you know what? They do it to us all the time, so fuck them. I don't care. I'm at a point where I don't care. I have zero fucks left to give. I don't even want to be the person that leads something like this. I don't give a shit. I ride motorcycles now. I'm telling you how to solve problems as a community. I do this shit now. This is what I do. I fly drones with my friends. I hang out with my buddies and we just cruise FPV. I don't give a fuck about the drone world anymore. But my board from being here for so many years doing this as an OG in the drone community, right, since 2012, my Facebook algorithm and YouTube algorithm is just being blasted with people now concerned about the FAA. So I'm putting in my 2 cents and giving you my fucking opinion. You want to solve problems? The only way to do that is either a massive civil disobedience across the board from almost every drone pilot. You got to convince the GPS guys who are safety to step off their safety pedestal and fucking put their money where their mouth is if they want to keep the hobby. Or start reaching out to news outlets. Get some well-spoken individuals, articulate, that can handle things for you. Fucking go in and do a solid interview. Each town, each city, each state. Let the rest of the world know what is happening to us. Show off your content. Tag it. FAA screwing us. Local drone pilots being screwed. FAA coming down for no reason. Make them explain themselves to the world. Where'd that money go? Who did they take money from? Who did they take money from to get payouts to screw the hobby people? I'm just trying to have fun. Just trying to enjoy themselves. That's all I have to say, man. That's the reality of it. You want to solve problems? Either massive civil disobedience or get the fucking news involved. Otherwise, you ain't doing shit. Nothing. You ain't going to do nothing. Nothing's going to happen. They're just going to roll right over you. They'll make a point out of a couple civil disobedient people, and then when everybody starts seeing how big the fines are, everybody will be like, I don't want to fly anymore. I'm not going to fucking do that. I'm not going to do that. FRIA. I can't even have access to a FRIA film. I'm not going to fucking... And it'll kill the hobby. None of you fought correctly for this. I've been telling you for years, no, none of you fucking gave a damn. You all just kept giving in and giving in and giving in to the government. I've been here since the beginning. I've watched it all transpire. I've been part of it. Fuck this. I work on motorcycles now and fly drones with my friends, and I'm going to continue doing that. You guys want to solve this? You know how to fight it. I'm out.